You're right, Mars. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. It's good to see you, man.
Long time.
We've been planning this for like ages. I'm so excited about this show, by the way. But before we get into that, like, why did you think I was from Manny in the first place?
I'm sorry. Firstly, I just want to say that I love accents from up north.
Have I got an accent?
You have an accent. I can't like.
I feel like it's in between north and south a little bit.
It's difficult because when I first met you, I was like, he's definitely from up north, but now it's giving me south vibes. Like, you're giving me a variation of.
Okay.
You're giving me mixed race.
You know what I'm trying to avoid at the minute? You know, in some northerners, they'll say things that end in Y, like EH, like lovely, or like cuddly.
I love it.
That's what I'm trying to avoid at the minute.
Yeah.
And sometimes it chimes in and out. You know what I mean?
Like when you're like drunk or.
Nah, like just in intervals. Do you know what I mean? Like I've lived there for like 8 years now.
Okay.
So like, yeah, just time of the essence just goes on to you, innit? And I guess it just kind of broadens out. But yeah,
we love it, man. Live your truth. 8 years deep.
Yeah, 8 years deep.
Live your truth. So where were you before, Manny?
So I was born in Slough, lived in Preston for a bit, and then boom bow, like from Buckinghamshire, Aylesbury.
Okay. You've been travelling.
For people that don't know, it's near Milton Keynes. But now, like, that's where I'm from. And then 2016 lived in Manny, and then just stayed because obviously the rent's cheaper.
It is, but I've been hearing that it's been getting more and more expensive, gentrification and all that. But also, like, I was even looking at properties up. Like, I was thinking about BBC as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm a journalist, and I was looking at properties, and it wasn't cheap. Maybe I was just looking at the bougie places.
My rent's $340 and it's sick, so I'm having a great time. Yeah.
Where are you living? Firstly, let me get the landlord's number.
Like it's chilling. Like it's really nice. And
really, $350.
Yeah, but I want to move down to London at some point.
Are you lying? Where are you living?
No, not lying. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Wagwan people, what are you telling me? You locked onto Naitram Live. This is the show that basically just gets into the nitty gritty of upcoming artists, internet stars, entrepreneurs. We're going to talk about, rant about, and react to all sorts of different stuff. You got me, your boy Mars.
I'm Natalie.
Yeah, fantastic. So what sort of music do you like at the minute? Because there's so many artists that's been popping at the minute. My favourite at the minute is probably Saint, ARTAN. I love a bit of Ashbeck. So they're my current, or even Ants Live actually, and Rushy.
Yeah, you know what? I always give respect to new artists, especially when they're just changing things up and doing stuff in their unique way and sticking with it. But like, I feel like the scene changes so much these days that I love sticking to my R&B. I love my old school, going back to like Lauryn Hill, but also Drake. Like, I give him his flowers. A lot of people have not been giving him his flowers, but I give Drake his flowers. Like, he really did change the game. I love the people that are just changing the scene.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now speaking of changing the scene, I'm so excited for this because I've been listening to this guy for time. To be honest, the reason I didn't put him on my list earlier is because obviously it's not going to be a surprise guest if we don't have a surprise, right? You know what I'm saying? Goes by the name of ARTAN. He's been in the game for about 7-8 years now. He's met some tremendous strides. Guy's been on SBTV, Grime Daily, Mixtape Madness, the lot.
Yeah, he's done a lot. And he's been grinding. Like, I love this story as well, like, where people are just coming up.
50 million streams as well. And it's only so many artists as well that collaborate with artists from across the pond. You know, he's done stuff with Young Gravy. I've only known a few artists, collective artists, that have actually collabed with, like, American artists. For example, Skepta. Like, do you realise how big you have to be able to endorse that? Or how big do you have to be in terms of the audience retention you get from one of your tracks to be able to a mix on or whatever? Like, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, 100%.
Man. And also it tells you a bit about the artist, doesn't it? Like how some people are just not wanting to collab with American artists as well. So I love when British people actually are like, you know what? I'm going to try this. Not even American, like European artists as well, like bringing them into the scene. I love that.
All right, cool people. So without further ado, all the way from North London, let's big it up for ARTAN, man. Come on.
Yes,
so good to see you, man. So good to see you, man.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming down.
It's all good. Thank you for having me.
How was your trip, man?
It was good, man. I'm only like an hour away, so
oh, that's blessed, man.
I can't complain, you know what I'm saying? I can't complain. Just a quick North Circ and then hit the M way. So yeah, man, I'm all good.
So last time I saw you was Leeds Festival last year.
Yeah.
Backstage on the 1Extra tent. You absolutely killed it. Phenomenal show. Obviously, we had like a nice little interview back then. What have you been up to since then? How's life been treating you?
Bro, really good, man. Really good. I've been doing a lot more shows, which is sick. Like, I always wanted to do shows back in the day. I just never got booked. I guess I was making a lot of slow, sad, depressing music in it, so you can't...
Oh, don't bash.
No, you
want your feelings in it.
Yeah,
we love the feels tunes.
When you're making songs like Falling, like, I'm falling. It's like, I don't want to hear that Oceana Watford, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. But yeah, man, just been busy doing a lot of performances. Got my show coming up, headline show this weekend. So it's been really busy, man. And but I'm blessed to be busy. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to be busy.
Yeah.
Before I used to be like, what can I do to improve? Now I'm actually like swamped, and that's a blessing because I've always wanted to be busy doing what I love, so I can't complain.
100%. When this is like your full-time job, you've been in the game for like 7 years now, you've been grinding your ass off. Like, it's good to see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember last time we spoke, we seen how hard you worked. You had like a full-time job whilst doing this thing.
Yeah.
Hustle.
Hustle, man. You've been in situations where like you've been like really, really broke, and also dealing with mental challenges and, you know, just normal stuff going through the industry, like whether that was good things, bad things, ugly things. You're here, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we're going to hear all about it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So let's start off from the beginning, man.
So you're a North London boy,
Yeah.
but you haven't lived in North London like all your life.
No.
You have family from Singapore?
Yeah, Singapore.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm from North London. That's like the last, like, I guess, 10, 15 years of my life. But before that, I was in East London, West London, Essex. I've moved around a lot. So that's why when in my name on my Instagram and stuff, it's all ARTAN LDM, because back in the day, everyone used to like rep there, which like, you know, North East, South West, and everyone used to be like Mo West or whatever. And I didn't really know where to rep because I'm from literally everywhere. So I just put London just to be frank. So
Now you're worldwide, so it works. It
I'm an
works.
Asian traveller. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of Irish friends who were travellers, but I'm an Asian traveller.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is that experience, you know, kind of maybe not having like one home as such, and like having to travel around and like take your music with you when you're going around? Like, what was that experience of making music in different places?
I feel it's a weird one because it's a blessing and a curse where, because you're not from one place, it can feel like you don't really know your identity. So you don't really know, like, you know, like, oh, I've grew up on this block for my whole life, so this is what I am, where I'm from, like, this is my local boss man. Like, because you don't have that, you question, like, who you are and what you're about and your friendship circles and everything. And at first I hated it, and then as time has gone on, it's ended up being like one of the biggest blessings because I've met so many different people. I've learned how to maneuver in so many different rooms, and, you know, I've worked in, like, I've lived in certain places where, you know, for example, I'm the only white guy in the room. I've lived in certain places where it's literally all white geezers, like from Essex and whatnot. And like, and then I've had my family, which is all Asians. And it's like, and then I moved to West London and all of my friends are like Indian or Pakistani. And it's like, all the time, these things, I'm like, oh, I just want like my circle. Like, what is my core?
I hear that.
You know, like my core circle.
Yeah, your tribe, innit?
Yeah, exactly. And I never really had that. And it actually ended up becoming great because, as you know, your parents tell you like, oh, your school friends, they're not going to be your friends for life. And you might have like one or two maybe, like for the majority of people. But for me, I don't have any friends from school. Like, all of my friends are from kind of my ventures that I've got into. Like, genuinely, like, they're all from like music, or whilst I'm following my dream, like, I've kind of like accumulated these friends that have a similar vision to me, similar morals and similar backgrounds. And it's just like they've all gravitated towards my journey, and I've gravitated towards theirs. So yeah, to answer your question, it was actually quite tough because I hated it. I couldn't stand it. And then, but over time, it's ended up becoming probably the best thing that actually happened to me. And that's a quote that I don't even know who said it. Maybe I just said it. But like, your biggest insecurities will end up becoming your most unique selling point.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the same with like businesses or as an artist. You know, like, sometimes you might look like a weirdo, and people are like, oh, you look like a weirdo, like you'll never make it. But you being a weirdo is actually what you're branded as. You know what I'm saying? It's what makes you super unique. So yeah. No, I respect it, and it's just about like having confidence as you go through. But I definitely relate to like that social butterfly, not always fitting in. And I know you probably do as well, because you were born
in Slough.
And then you're up in Manchester, you've gone here and there.
Yeah, I've gone a bit here, there and everywhere. Born in Slough, lived in Preston for a few years, and then moved back down to Buckinghamshire, Aylesbury, doing a bit of a madness there. And then when it was in 2016, I was about 18, moved to Manny, Made my home there, made my career there.
And then there's always something about being like multicultural or like different ethnicities, right? In certain areas that you do feel like you're trying to find your way to fit in. And
I was the black sheep of the family, literally.
This is what I was going to ask you, because what I found when I was young, I was like Essex, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like geezer, proper like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could imagine.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then I moved to London. I went to school in London for like 5 years, and I come back with my accent is like, it's not really London, it's not really Essex, it's like a bit of a mix. And then when I come back to visit my friends, they're all like, oh, you think you're a gangster, innit? They're like, yes, bro, and all this. And I'm like, bro, like, they're like, oh, yeah, bro. And I'm like, all right.
No,
right,
but I always find like London is like the first place to do something, and then the outskirts catch on.
Yeah.
So you're doing something that they're going to be doing in like 5 years.
No, exactly. Exactly. It's just hard. Like when you're a kid. Nowadays, like at our age, like it's a bit different. But when you're a kid, it's like it's really hurtful because you're like, oh, like you get told like, oh, what you think you're, and then you're like, oh, is that how I'm coming across? Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. What do you mean? I'm one of you lot. Do you know what I mean? And then you come back to London, and then you're like, oh, I'm not even like you lot. I'm more like them lot. But then I'm like, but them lot don't see me as them lot. They see me as like a wannabe them lot. Yeah. So I'm like, where do I fit in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do your thing. You got to do your thing.
And that's why I really respect, like, you see in school sometimes as well, you'll get a lot of kids that are like really unique and weird. And they might be a bit outcast, but like they're actually owning themselves, and then they end up more time becoming like
Pharrell, basically, someone like that,
or the sickest entrepreneurs or business people, whatever, because they just understand who they are and what they're about early on. And I think you have to go through that journey and that kind of like that sense of lostness, if that makes sense, in order to actually find yourself.
Kids can be brutal though, man. So when I lived in Preston, I was the only brown person in my class, or most predominantly the school, and. I had this kid, and obviously not going to say any names and that, but I remember it so perfectly. It was like, the reason why you're this colour is because God left you in the oven for too long. And my mum...
No.
I didn't laugh at that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't laugh. He can't laugh.
And then like a clip of me just going...
Yeah, we're trying to get you cancelled. This is a cancellation test now. And I remember my mum told me, apparently, like I went back home and like I was trying to immediately went into the bathroom trying to scrub myself and like this and that.
No, that's traumatic.
It was crazy.
That's actually traumatic. Wow.
Yeah,
I can't say anything like that happened.
Well, I used to, I didn't used to get that much racism. I used to get a little bit. So
wait, what's your mix?
So I'm half English, half Singaporean.
Are you Asian?
Yeah. But like people used to be like I'm yellow, so people used to be like, oh, like homo or whatever. Like
wow,
like Simpsons and
yeah. But like these things, like again, like end up becoming your unique parts. Like even like, see, I've got like 2 moles on my face. That like I don't even think about it right now. But when I was like 13 and Little Britain come out with Molly, that ended up becoming a thing in school. So, but like,
kids are harsh.
As you get older, like. Yeah, like I love them and I love being Asian. Like I love these things.
I respect it.
I genuinely mean that. It's not like I'm just saying no, I love it. Like I genuinely do. So yeah, it's weird how it works.
All right, so Arta, we got a little bit of surprise for you, man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to bring it out for the people because they deserve to know this. They deserve to know this.
I'm almost scared, what it's going to bring out.
It's like an old tweet of me or something. Yes, fly boy.
Wow. Man here, yeah?
Hey.
Get the spin and that. Oh, he's upside down.
I need to get that drip back. I lost my start.
Yeah, talk to me about this. Talk to me about this picture. Like, what was going on here? Do you remember this sort of moment?
Yeah, I remember.
What was happening behind the camera? Like, what are you telling me about?
You look so shy and cute. Sorry to say.
Yeah,
not trying to ruin the flex.
You look like a neek. You know what? That was when I used to live in Essex. So I grew up in. I won't go into it too much, but like I went to a cult, which was like Pentecostal church. Dad like basically got us in there. It's like a private school basically for primary kids, and my dad used to work there coaching table tennis. So that's how we got it free. So I was staying there for a few years, and yeah, at that time I can't even remember how old I am. I'm bad at guessing ages, but yeah, that was a good time. And I used to be a baby model as well, just FYI.
Yeah, you were saying.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I should probably put that
we love it. We love it. Many talents.
I was going to say this as well, yeah. Word on the street. Is it true that you worked in a Chinese restaurant as a kid?
Yeah,
Is that true?
I worked in a Chinese restaurant for years. Like I was a dishwasher. for.
Well, you weren't the kid on the counter doing all the on the
I
calculations.
did do that. That's
Cashier.
where I pushed myself towards because no one could really speak that good English. So because I can't really speak any Mandarin or anything, I was like, all right, I'll go on the phones, and I'm so bad. I'm bad at holding plates. I'm just genuinely really bad. But my auntie had a Chinese restaurant in Swiss Cottage, and I worked there. I even got like 5 of my brethren working there, like one of my guys' little brothers.
Oh my gosh, we love it.
Like, gang, it was just literally gang in the Chinese restaurant. Like, just
Wait, how old were you?
I was like 16 to 20.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I thought you were gonna mean like a little kid. You know stereotype Chinese restaurants where there's a little kid that you know that takeaway is gonna slap. You see them sort of antics going on there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you got to earn your visa.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we love it. We love it.
But yeah, that was a grind, man. I really hated that. Like, to a mad. I can't even begin to describe you how much I hated it. Also because it was quite a nice. It wasn't like a dingy Chinese restaurant. This was like a real. It's still around now. It's one of the. It was like voted like London's best like Pan Asian spot in London, and loads of rich people go in there. So I used to be like in there. Obviously, my auntie owns it as well, and I'm like, bro, like how did you ever get here? Like how did you manage to do this? Like, and you won't give me the cheat code, like, or you won't give me a blueprint on how you did it. Like, I'm here genuinely washing dishes. And like, I have no idea how I'm ever going to do anything other than this. Like at that point, I genuinely was like, I'm never going to have a first car. Like, I actually was like, I'm never going to be able to afford like $1,000 to have a first car because I cannot afford with the money that I'm earning and my rent. I'm like, it's genuinely impossible. Like, the maths weren't mathsing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
Would you say that's what delved you into going into different mediums to make money? Like, for example, you used to work in sales. You've recently got into trading as well as pursuing a rap career. Talk to us about that, of how you became money driven over the years.
Yeah, so I don't like to go with a narrative of like I was so broke as a kid, because I wasn't like a block boy or nothing. Like I just was like on the breadline. Like my dad had a business like when we were working when he was in Essex. And then he lost everything, and then they had a divorce and everything. So we like genuinely, like, I actually had like no money whatsoever, ever. The one thing I did have, which was a real blessing, is my dad used to, like, I used to play table tennis for England. So my dad used to drive me to all of these different like tournaments and stuff, which is like super blessed with. But I got to a point when I was about 13, and I remember like all my kids, I remember this one time, so I've got to big up my boy Jake, from Essex. There was a time where I was getting bullied. My dad had a table tennis tracksuit, right, which is like super big, like he's a fully grown man, and I'd wear it everywhere I go. And I remember this one time getting bullied so hard, like for wearing this super baggy tracksuit. It's dragging along the floor. It's got a hole in the back. I remember, like, it's got a hole in the back of the heel of here because I'm treading on it so much because it's so big for me. And I remember one of my boys like brought me to his house straight after and was like, here, like, just literally gave me a bag of like Ralph Lauren like polos, and I've never had designer before in my life. Like, and I always remember this. It's one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me in my entire life. And he gave me like this Ralph Lauren polo, like a Nike t-shirt or something. And I was like, honestly, even to this day, it makes me tear up because I was like, I genuinely have never had that in my entire life. And I was like, raw, someone's actually giving me this for free. And when he gave me that, and I went back to school, and I literally had a Ralphie polo to wear after work. I put it in my little, the mini JD bags. I used to like roll it up, put it in there. I used to wear it every day after school. And then I went Camden one time, and obviously being an Asian family, we know all the people selling fake garms. So we've gone to the market, chatting to my man, whatever. I bought like a bunch of Ed Hardy tees, and I went back to school, and I was like, all right, cool. Do you know what? Like, I reckon I can flog these. Got on Facebook. Long story short, I've started making money selling like stuff, and I'm like, right, I've never had more than £100. I've never had more than £100 in my entire life. That's probably quite normal at 16. Maybe it isn't. I don't know nowadays. But I was like, right, like, I actually made this. So I'm like, cool. Went out and bought like a pair of Dre Beats headphones, like fake ones, obviously, because I couldn't afford them, with £100. Then I was like, I bought these for like 20 quid. And I was like, I reckon I could sell these for like 60 quid. I was like, cool. So I actually bought them for myself, and I thought, no, let me sell them. And that's what got me through school and sixth form and like literally just doing that. Ed Hardy leggings for girls. They're lit. Like they were sick. T-shirts, Gucci belts, all sorts. And I kind of like table tennis. There's no money in it. Like there is now, but there was no money in it. So I kind of looked at life and I was like, life is whack. If I genuinely, I don't know what to do. I've quit table tennis now. That wasn't going to earn me any money. I have no money. I don't know how I'm going to make money. Like I'm working at a Chinese restaurant, which I'm really blessed with, but I'm earning like £100 a week and my rent's like £5. So I'm still in the red, like regardless. So I guess it kind of got to a stage where I just wanted to, I want to say I wanted to be independent, but it wasn't really that, if I'm honest with you. It was more, I just genuinely just had no idea what to do. And I had no idea of how I'm going to make money. And the closest thing that was to me, like some people trap, like that's just their thing. Like my thing was selling garms and headphones. So that's what I did. And then that's always stuck with me, you know, like that sense of like independence where like I have control over what I'm doing and what I'm selling, and just like it's up to me if I make money and it's up to me if I don't. And I think that was kind of forced upon me from a young age, but then it's kind of just stuck with me throughout, really. Yeah.
That's one. I can't lie. You would have built an empire in Turkey, fam.
Oh,
No, for real. No, I respect it, you know, and like obviously you're just hustling. I remember in one of your songs, like a lyric was like, "Dreams of driving a Bentley, but now I have a mindset of grinding for centuries." So do you feel like that hustler mindset that you had then, do you still have that now? Is it still working for you?
Definitely, 100%.
You're like even more so.
Yeah, like way more so, because you know what it was? I was grinding with no return. Like it wasn't.
It was the start of it.
Yeah, it's like it's all like, for example, like my mixtape 3-5 in a Dream. Like it is all just like I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm speaking to people. Like I would ask anyone who's got money, that I see. Like I remember playing table tennis with this one guy, and he was driving a Range Rover, some like 50-year-old bloke, and I'm like, I pulled him to the side one time. I was like, "Do you mind just telling me like how, like what you do?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm a lawyer," and I'm like, "A lawyer? All right, you're a lawyer."
How much do you make?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no,
Right,
I would,
right.
and I'd get annoyed when I'd ask people how much you make, and they wouldn't tell me, and I'd get really annoyed because I'm like, I genuinely don't understand why you think that that's an offensive question.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, why would you not want to tell me? Because don't you want to inspire me to get there? Like, why would you not be transparent?
Yeah.
Like I break down, not at the time, but like I'll tell anyone how much I'm making at any job. Like, I don't
Money's
care
always been like, it's such a British thing, isn't it, though, like to be like talk about money, especially for the older generations. But I was going to ask you, do you feel like, because you built yourself up, like in and outside of music, money wise, but do you feel like sometimes having that mindset of money, not saying you only have a mindset of that, but like the hustler mindset, do you feel like that can cap your creativity sometimes and come in the way of creative like output and stuff like that?
I think definitely, but I think that there's a balance to it. I think because I'm in an industry where you don't get properly financially rewarded for what you do. But I'm quite used to that. Like I'm used to working jobs that I hate, that are really hard, and I don't get financially properly rewarded. And I think that in the music industry particularly, the harsh reality is that, I know this sounds mad, but like if you don't have, you're either insanely talented and you have a bunch of skills, for example, like video editing or whatever it may be. You do need to have money. And my whole thing, like my clothing brand 9559, is all about 9 to 5 and 5 to 9. Like what you like, 9 to 5 is builds your empire, and 5 to 9 is your absolute dream. Like so your 9 to 5 is literally just what pays the bills, basically. And then whatever you do 5 to 9, that's what's going to change your life. And I just think that I can only speak from experience, but if you have nothing and you expect to be a somebody and do the things that the people that you look up to are doing, the high chance is the differentiator between you and them is either your work ethic, creativity, or it's the financial backing. And
100.
There's no excuses. Like, bro, anyone can get a job. I'm not saying it's going to be a good job, but you can try and do small incremental steps to fund your dream. And if your excuse is, you know, it affects my creativity or, you know, anything like that, bro, then you're not cut out for it.
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, do it as a hobby. It's just not cut out. So, in short, to answer your question, yes, it does affect it, but it's just part of the game, man.
It's a reality. It's a reality that a lot of people don't see, especially, like, bless them, like, young people looking up on TikTok and it's just like, no, there's an actual grind behind it. Exactly. That has to happen, unfortunately, but we have to grind.
No, you got no choice, and it's better to learn early on than it is to find out later on, because some people just whim through life and they just about get by and whatnot, and they're still creative, they're still trying here and there at their dreams, but it's like, if you really want to make a move,
you have to be ready. Like, you have to have
exactly, man.
100%.
No excuses. If it messes up your creativity, bro, it's just kind of is what it is. Like, it's part of the game. Figure out how to maneuver around it. So,
yeah, definitely.
Now, as well as the environment that you grew up in that gave you those aspirations to have higher ambitions, to make more money, there's also the music side of it. You know what I'm saying? You've taken inspirations from, like, Drake, for example, Devlin, Plan B. Why those artists in particular? I know that seems like such a broad question. It's like, oh, like, what's your inspirations? But there's novelties and things that take place to be able to unlock that sort of creative sense and make money from music. So why those artists in particular that stood out for you?
For me, first of all, Devlin, because he was the first white rapper that I saw. Like,
before Eminem?
Yeah, like I knew Eminem, but I didn't really listen to him. Like, I listened to him here and there. Like, I listened to, like, Curtain Call, like, a lot, and, like, a few songs, but Devlin for me was the first, like, in America, he's an American white rapper, but in the UK,
homegrown,
like, in the UK, you're also looking at it like, oh, Devlin's trying to be Eminem, so you're like, oh, ick. You know, not ick, the wrong word, like, not white for that, but you know what I mean, like, it weren't cool to try and be Eminem, so Devlin was doing his own thing, and I thought he was so cold, and that he inspired me to start kind of writing. Well, start, like, playing about with the idea of writing. But I used to beatbox more. So when I used to move all these schools, the one thing that, like, got me friends straight away was the fact that I could beatbox. So everyone was doing grime. Devlin was like the thing. So I was, like, trying to write like Devlin, whatever. And then when I went uni, Drake, what he dropped, Nothing Was the Same. And Nothing Was the Same was the first Too Much. It's Don't Think About It Too Much. Was it that one on there?
Yeah.
That was the first ever beat that I ever actually properly wrote a song to. And for Drake inspired me because it was the melodic aspect of rap, and I was like, bro, like, I think I can do this, because I don't, like, in grime it was a lot of grease and, like, repetitive words and that, and that's not really my energy. So when Drake started doing his thing, I was like, raw, like, you can be, like, quite open and honest and add melodies in there and be appreciated without having to come on some mad grease. So
Is that what got you into your sad phase of music?
Yeah, but I think just having a shit life got me sad.
Yeah, that too, obviously.
That's probably the biggest impact, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Because when I was looking at some of your inspirations and I saw Plan B, you know, that took me back, like Charmaine,
Oh,
like all of those.
What a banger.
Listen, Charmaine De La Rosa.
Hey, can you imagine, do you reckon that song could run nowadays when it's like, but she was 13?
No, you know what?
Are you mad?
I heard that bit, I was like, no, that would actually get cancelled straight.
You can do that nowadays.
Yeah, that's mad, and I'm just praying to God that never happened, because
This ain't Top of the Pops, cuz. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, I think with Plan B, like you said, it has, like, that big musical element on it as well, and he's bringing in singing. So,
exactly.
I mean, I got used to Plan B. I was introduced to Plan B through Chasing Status, so that drum and bass.
Chasing Status, just FYI, it's just, I was looking up tickets to try and see them last night. They are the goats of, like, probably one of the top
I remember
3
when I
artists
was
of all
14.
time.
Yeah, honestly. And, like, just the way that he can change from, like, singing to rapping. Obviously, he brought out their album before Ill Morals. What was that one? The defamation of something
It's
back.
before he started doing the proper singing stuff. What was it? I can't remember, but I know what you're... Ill Mannered? No.
I won't know. I'll be real.
Let me see.
Ill Manners?
It's after the Charmaine hype. The Defamation of Strickland Banks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that album could be seen as like mainstream, but it's just the transition between like the singing to the rapping.
Yeah. That's
and
what
like,
I love.
it's just so different. I love it.
I agree. That's what I love personally, like melodic rap. That's always been my thing.
In a way, it's kind of come back in a sort of sense, especially through alternative hip hop.
Yeah.
But now what I wanted to dive into is more into your actual music, right? Because you've set some amazing strides, as aforementioned. One of your most highest streams that you've got is 10 out of 10, but 39 million streams. And then followed by that, you had an amazing remix with Young Gravy. First off, how did that even come about? And I guess secondly is, why was it that tune specifically that ended up blowing in proportion compared to all the other music that you've done over the years?
I think so I'll start from like the start of things, which is quite important. Is She's a 10 Bar was actually the last song I was gonna drop. Like I was actually done like with music. I love music so much, but financially it just wasn't making sense for me. Like I was working a job 9 to 5 for about 6 years at the time. Every bit of spare money I've got is going into music, which is only like 6 bills extra a month I had spare, all going into music, and I was losing money every month. And I had to kind of look at it and be like, look, as a business, if one of my friends come to me and said, I've been running this business for 6 years and every month I'm losing about £600, you'd probably tell them, bro, like you need to rethink what you're doing in some shape or form, or like know when to quit. And I think that in business, in general, in life, you actually have to be smart enough and self-critical enough to know when to call something a day. And that doesn't mean to give up. It just means that sometimes you need to shift your energy to somewhere else. And what I found, and my phone's over there actually, I was going to show you something, but what I found is when you sometimes take the foot off the gas a little bit and appreciate where you've come from, which at the time I was like, listen, this is my last song. Do you know what? Let me just actually appreciate, like, I have done some cool things in my career. I ended up getting an artist on the song that I would never get on the song, would never normally get this guy on the song, because he's a bit more of a TikToker. But I thought, you know what, why not? And that why not, that, you know, I'll do something I don't normally do, is actually what really helped the trajectory of the song, because it kind of like elevated the marketing side of things because he was a TikToker. And it really pushed it. But I know I've got a product. Like I've never had like a proper label deal or anything or marketing budget. And this was, I just knew that I had a product. I just never had anyone co-signing me ever. Like no artist really like properly show love. Like there's a couple, but like no one really like basically showing like publicly love. So for the first time, I had a bunch of like social media people actually like co-signing me. And yeah, I coincidentally just had the product on the time, but I think every song was going to blow. So if I'm honest with you, it's not like I did anything in particular different to what I would normally do. It's just literally I just had a bit better of a marketing budget, and I just stuck to the same plan that I had for God knows how long.
I was going to say this as well, Artan. I've been a fan of Young Gravy for a while as well, way before I even met you.
Sick.
Obviously, he's from across the pond. I guess in retrospect, from what I understand him as an artist, he's a little bit of a parody rapper. Not like Weird Yankovic kind of stuff, but you can tell it's that unserious kind of rap. Not necessarily in lyricism or how he puts himself out there. Like he likes to be quite funny, if that makes sense, in it, and establish that. And that's been really good for his brand. And one of those collaborations, when I saw it, it's a collaboration you don't really see, but it went hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Well, I'll tell you one thing with that, like on that side of things, and I think, see with Young Gravy, yeah. And shouts to Young Gravy, but I just come off the back of his tour. He's a top man. Like he's actually like a really, really nice guy. And I rarely meet a lot of genuine, like really nice artists. One thing I'd say with Young Gravy, that from like even my perspective in the UK, like you said, like you think he's a parody rapper, but he's absolutely not. Like he is completely and utterly himself. Like if you meet him and you know him, bro, he's exactly what he is. Like everything he raps about, bro, he's doing that. He's lips in MILFs, like on stage. Like he's really getting gal. Like he is, like he wears what he wears. He's not putting on, like he has long hair. He wears his chains. Like he speaks like how he speaks, and it's like I think in the UK we have this thing where it's like you're either a joke. Like when I was little, it used to be you're either on road or you're a neek. Pick a side. You can't be anything else. Are you on road or you're a neek? Are you basically it's one or the other. That end of, and the lines are starting to blur because people are getting more creative. But in America, they've got for example Chance the Rapper, Tyler the Creator. Like in the UK, what you think you can have I don't want to say a gangster, he's not, but like a gay black rapper. Like I don't really know that. I don't know any off the top of my head. Like anyway, there probably is. But
Lil Nas X, I think.
No, in the UK.
Oh, in the UK. Oh, I don't know.
Like, but that's what I'm like our perception of artists and creativity is so different. Like Young Gravy comes here, and a lot of people are like, oh, is he like a Lil Dicky? It's like that is the first comparison that everyone has because we genuinely have like no. We're like you're either a serious on-road street rapper or you're a joke.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. Let's be real, he's a bit of a joke. And it's like, well, actually, no. Like we need to step back, and I've learned so much from watching Young Gravy work, meeting him, and seeing what he does. And I'm like, bro, I respect it, and I hate the fact that we don't have that in the UK. We don't have a Chance the Rapper.
Do you feel like we ever will though? Like, do you feel like the UK? And also, I want to say first of all, that's a London thing.
Yeah,
you lot thinking you're either a road or a neek. That's a London thing.
Yeah.
But also, do you feel like the UK we are getting more creative, or we're all getting like more social media like focus and everything? Do you think there is room for like different types of personalities and characters, and not just room, but do you feel like people will actually ever take that on?
I do. I think that it's. The one issue that we have in the UK is that I think that we jump on trends so much, and because we're such a small country, we think we're massive, but like we're not actually that
That's
big.
another London problem. London thinks it's like the whole UK, you know.
We're the centre of the world. Like you know, like Americans also think they are. It's America and other. Like it's like no, we think we're so big and everything that we have. Like for example, like the drill scene, everyone's on drill, and it's like. It's now started to evolve because people are getting a little bit bored of the same sliding 808s in the context. So that's why like people come to listen to artists like myself because we offer a little bit of a different perspective. But I just think that the UK is a little bit like slow when it comes to creativity. We look for more cool stories as opposed to appreciating artists. Like Lancey Foo, for example, was like a no one for how long? Is that how you pronounce it?
Lancey Foo.
Lancey Foo. All right, Lancey Foo. Like he was a no one for a long while, and then he's just like now everyone's like, oh, Lancey Foo, he's killing it out in America right now, man. Like, oh, look, it's like I don't listen to his music personally, but I'm like, but everyone was seeing, oh, he's a wannabe young thug for years. Like there's loads of artists that have gone to America, for example, or other countries, and they're appreciated with their creativity. And I just think that in the UK, I think we have too many barriers where we compare them to other artists and categorize them when everyone's got their unique story and perspective, and we need to appreciate the fact that like they're not just on road or a unique or a parody or this or that. It's like let's appreciate them for the creativity that they actually have, because we have a really good scene here.
Definitely. There are some artists that are really sticking out at the minute, especially when it comes to your creativity. I'd say some of the recent is probably Ants Live. Yeah. Visuals are always insane. You got Saint, incredible. I guess not indirect. It's the only terminology I can think of at the minute, but in terms of, I guess, quote unquote parody, not parody, Nico B, he's great, but like he also makes it really fun and exciting and enjoyable.
But I would see like, so if we put Gravy in him, for example, like Nico B, I rate him, but like he's a parody because he's like he'll say something like, I don't know, like a girl.
Well, he named his tune after Mary Berry. Like we can just say,
but like Gravy, for example, if you actually listen, he's not capping. Like he's not capping about anything. Nico B might be like, oh, my nan punched me in the face with a screwdriver, and like, you know what I mean. I don't know. Yeah, cool. It was a parody, but like Gravy's very different, and that's where it's like, yo, these are actually two complete separate things. Gravy is fun. He's just a fun rapper. And then there's Nico, which is more of a parody. Still fun, but parody, but we just throw them in the same pile. And that is our kind of issue. Like we do just throw
I see that.
You know what I mean?
You make a fair point, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible though to see the evolution of UK rap over the past few years. Have you done any collaborations with anyone recently, like UK wise? Because I've seen you do a lot of solo stuff, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
I do tend to though. I don't. Do you know what it is with like collaborations, bro? I've had so many collaborations that just like haven't come out or had sessions lined up or any. I don't know, just whatever really. Like, but I do have one. I've got one with my guy MK. He's super sick. What else have I got? I've got a song with Yasin from Sweden. He's super cold as well. But I haven't really, like I need to dabble a bit more in the collab side of things. But if I'm honest with you, I don't really try not to force it too much because I don't know, like if people want to work, they'll want to work. Like I'm quite open and transparent with who I respect and rate, and if they want to work, they want to work. If they don't, it doesn't really.
No, I hear about that. Authenticity is really important. And speaking of authenticity, again, you've been growing this for 7 years. You've been making a ton of music. You said 10 out of 10 was the last one, but there's always the first one that you make. And obviously I wanted to bring in a mixtape called Chasing Dragons, and I want to run with you a little bit about that. But we've got this little prop in today, which is Time Will Tell. Fantastic piece of work. Talk to us about these two products, in particular Chasing Dragons. That was your first ever one. You made hard copies. Obviously I like the kind of old school vibe of hard copies. Was you delivering out these in town or what? What was the vibe for this?
I know no one has a CD player anymore, so I don't expect anyone to pop this in the CD player and listen to it because you can stream it. But it's more just about like having something and like knowing that, like if for example there's something in a tape that genuinely meant a lot to you and like I don't know you can relate to. I just always think it's good to have something physical. Just always like I don't really do it for the profit. It's more just like having it there, like like something you can just put in your wall. It's an aesthetic in your room or whatever.
Yeah.
But to go on to the tapes, I've always named and this is why I'm really happy I did this, but I've always named my tapes around like my mentality at the time and where I'm at. So like Chasing Dragons was a big thing for me with trying to quit weed. So I was like, I know obviously it's like Chasing Dragons is like, chasing a high, but I was trying to like word it where I'm chasing my demons instead of them chasing me. And I really wanted to, it was a stoner album, but I wanted to still just kind of like appreciate the fact that I don't think this is actually that good for me. Like I know this is not very good for me, but I'm just gonna like vibe out and like give you this, and then Time Will Tell. This is if you see the cover, like it's me in an hourglass, and at the time I was like one of my close friends had just taken his own life, and I was like very like close to in a similar place, and I put Time Will Tell. I was gonna call it The Final Lap, but I didn't want to manifest me quitting music and also being like the last stint of kind of like my career and my life. So I was like, I don't want to
put it into words kind of thing. Words are powerful.
So I was like, I'm going to put Time Will Tell just to be like, all right, look, I'm going to put this tape out there and like it is in the title, like if I blow up or if I make a career out of this, kind of going to kind of leave it up to the universe and Time Will Tell. And then and then I put out 3-5 in a Dream, which is like my biggest ever tape, because I wanted to go back to where I was, which is literally all I had was 3-5 in a Dream. And then hopefully my next tapes and stuff, they're going to be a lot more positive and a lot more of gratitude as opposed to kind of like hoping and wishing into the future. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy that I did that because at the time I felt that people wouldn't really get it. But like, as long as I get it in the future and I know where I stood in those moments in time, that's what means a lot to me. So yeah, that was I'm actually quite happy with the titles now that I think about it, because I haven't really thought about it like that. But yeah,
no, I agree with you. And obviously, great stories come with a great origin. You know what I'm saying? And since then, your adolescence into your music and your creativity, and above all else, audience retention has been ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? Your latest track, MPC. Kind of want to go into something a bit more about that. Like talk to me about the processes with that. It feels like something that's kind of new and current with the sort of social trends of like what's going on in this sort of infrastructure. Like, talk to me about that.
So MPC, I actually went into it and I was gonna write a deep song about being an NPC, and then I was just like, all right, I'm not an average guy. Like I was like, you know what? Let me start off like I'm not an average guy. I want to be this, and I was like, no, fuck
no, I'm not an average guy.
This beat is hard. I was like, all right, let me. I'm actually not an average guy. Like, let me talk about this more. And then, But yeah, I kind of just wanted to be like a lot of my new music can be. I don't want it to be all dark and depressing. I want you to actually like see my progress, and if you are a fan, you're gonna have favorite old songs, and then also see where I'm at now sonically and as me as a person. And as much as some people want me to drop like deep and dark music because they can relate to it, I also don't want to. I kind of want to show you like life. Yeah, there's a time and place to relate to it, and then there's a time and place to like get the fuck up and actually do something with your life, and then you can actually enjoy. And like essentially be like me, where I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing today and making a sick
100%.
tune. Like it's not all about like doom and gloom. Like if you want doom and gloom, stay there. But if you want to like enjoy like some lit music as well, then cool, come over to this side. So I wanted to kind of like that's what as of recently I've been on, because I'm not in such a bad place anymore. Like don't get me wrong, I still have still have my bad days, more than enough of them, but. Yeah, I just kind of want to show that side. So MPC was a real fun one, and I was like relating it back to when I used to work, and what did I say? Still bag me a job at Uptown with a fresh box cut and a dead CV. You can call me the elegant G. Ha. That for me is just like, yeah, I'm talking about the time when I used to like go to 9 to 5s, hate my work, hate my boss so much, but like now I can laugh about it. Like, and that's what I wanted to get out of it.
But also on the track, the thing I loved about MPC is that you're talking about a woman as well, right?
Yeah.
Is that someone that's in your life right now? Because I love the feels tunes. I know a lot of women would like those feels tunes.
Yeah.
When a man can just be in touch with, that side.
Yeah.
We all have that side, right?
Yeah, we do. I can't really say who, but like, yeah, I've been in a relationship now. I've been really like, especially with my music, it's really helped me talk about that side of life a bit more, because you see with music, like sometimes your identity, you think that you have to talk about one thing, and for me it was always like smoking weed and being depressed and whatever, right? And then as you like start to experience, I was about to say women, but like relationships and like go on, Andrew Tate, you know what I mean?
Ain't do that. Ain't do that.
Yeah, as you experience like meeting different people and like relationships and stuff, it gives you like a much broader and wider perspective on life, and
100%
a lot more. So that's probably what people can hear out of a lot of my new stuff. Even like She's a 10, for example, like that genuinely was about like a girl that I met in Birmingham. It's not that she didn't actually have an accent, I'll be honest, but like, yeah, it opens up a new window of things to talk about, and I love that. So yeah,
100%. Like being an artist is like, your creative inspiration has to come through life, so it has to grow with you as well. But I did want to ask, have you ever felt like an MPC yourself, whether in your own life or in your career musically?
Yeah, like when I was working in London, I used to every day, like I cannot even like begin to stress to you the way that I felt every day going to work. Like I know it sounds mad, it sounds super wet, but like I actually used to like cry about 25% of the time on my lunch breaks at work. And it sounds mad, but at the time I used to...
But that's not good for your mental.
No, I know. I used to work in Aldgate, yeah. I used to sit in a little Greek place, and I used to literally sit out, like I'd pay for my lunch and I'd sit there, yeah, and I'd look out and I'd literally look at everyone, yeah, walking around, and I'd go, is nobody here panicking that... Do you understand that you're going to die? Like, you could die at any moment. Like, bear in mind, my boy had just passed away, so it's obviously subconsciously affecting me. But I'm looking at everyone and I'm going, you don't look like you enjoy life right now. Why are you not panicking? Why is nobody here panicking? Like, I hate this, what I'm doing right now. Are you not worried? Like, they don't look worried. I'm like, you don't look worried. The person serving me at the till, I'm like, I want to ask them, like, are you making it like, is this what you want to do? Because, like, I fucking hate this. Like, and I'd feel like, I'm just like, bro, am I genuinely just like a product of like the Rothschilds, for example? Like, where like, I'm just like this little taxpayer that like just does their thing in society. I'm just an ant that like, yeah, cool. I breathe, pay tax, die. Next, like, who's the next one? Where's my national insurance number? Like, that one's gone, new one. And I'd feel like that every day. I'd sit on the train to work, and I'd literally, I can't even, like, even casting my mind back to that, like, I was beyond. I want to say the words beyond suicidal because that takes away the impact of that. But like, I was like at a point where if I genuinely have to do this every day for the rest of my entire life, there is no point in me waking up tomorrow, because I'd rather not live like and this is a harsh word to use, but I felt like it. I felt like a slave to the system, and I was like, I'd genuinely rather just like, I beg you, just don't let me wake up tomorrow. Like, I'd rather that than let me do that. And yeah, when you feel like an NPC and you feel like that, like you don't have a purpose. You're just a number.
But sometimes these things, you have to actually go through it to
100%.
be awakened that you
100%.
never, ever want to see yourself back there
100%.
as well. Do you know what I mean? And I really feel like, especially when you're talking about it was affecting your mental, like even times I've been ill in a job which you know you're not actually meant to be in. So I really respect you taking that move to be like, no, this is, because people will stay in that for like decades and decades, and respect everyone has to get their money.
And just on that point, just really quickly, one of the most important things in life that I've ever learned is everyone always wants to find out what they wanted. Like, you know, when you get told, just do what you love, right? And you don't know what you love, right? So it's the worst thing to be told. When you don't know what you want to do, because you're like, bro, don't you think I'd be doing it right now if I knew what I wanted to do? But it's just as important to find out what you don't want to do than find out what you do want to do. Because if you can't take the risk and find out, I might enjoy that, let me try it, and you find out that is definitely not what I want to do, you might never get to that point where you do. So in order to really take the leap and get out of that feeling, like you said, you have to experience what you really dislike in order for you to be motivated enough to appreciate what you do want to do. You get me? Have
you ever felt like an NPC then in your actual music career? You know, it's a journey to where you have been.
I think yes, to an extent, but no. And the reason why I'd say I haven't really felt like an NPC in my music career is because I've always felt like the music I've made has helped in some shape or form. Like, I think if you just make lit music and you're not relatable and you're just making songs just for the dance or like you're a super cruddy drill artist just bragging, then yeah, you'd feel like an NPC. But most of my all of my music has some sort of a purpose, whether it's to invoke a certain emotion or to make people feel like they're spoken to and heard. So for me, no, I've never really felt like an NPC in music. Music has given me the platform to not be an NPC and have a voice. You know what? I really respect it when artists like yourself just then, and they say like, I'm really creating this music for me. Do you know, like Stormzy's last album, people were like, oh, he's losing like the rap edge and all of that. And he was like, no, I'm really creating this for me. Yeah. And if it blesses you, if it's something that you like, then great. Yeah. But like, listen, when people say stuff like that, when they're so in tune with their art for themselves as well as their true, you know, authenticity, like, I love that so much. But I got lost in that as well. Like, after She's a 10, I did get lost in that. I was like, oh, okay, this is the first time that people have really taken in everything that I've done, and it's done so well. I need to keep giving them that. Like, it was what the people want. But you have to remember that, like, if you think something is good, there is someone out there that will also like it. You just might not be speaking in the right room. Like, you might be wearing something that you think is like, it's the sickest outfit, it's so unique. And everyone's like, bro, what are you wearing? Like, we're at Nando's right now. Like, what are you wearing? But then you might go to like the Met Gala or a fashion week and they're like, oh my God, this is like insane. So it's like, it might just be the wrong crowd. So that's why I say, like you said, you got to do everything for you, but don't be an idiot and take some constructive criticism. You know what I mean?
Now, speaking of, I guess it wasn't really idiocy in it, but I'm sure you've encountered situations where maybe you've made mistakes or you've just encountered life situations that happen in the industry, because at the end of the day, the music industry can be the music industry. You know what I'm saying? You know, so word on the street was you making a tape with Central C and then he blew and then it just didn't happen? So
it wasn't like we made a tape or nothing. It basically, we Sense shouted me like a few days before Day in the Life dropped, and we were gonna like cook up and make a song like Fallin', because he was on the melodic stuff as well. And I remember I had studio on the Tuesday and Day in the Life dropped on the Monday, and it just blew up so much. So he messaged me on the Tuesday like, bro, I can't lie, my thing is booming right now. Can we move to Thursday? I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem. I'm like, yeah, mine, like, right, it is blowing up on this drill thing right now. That's crazy. But yeah, hopefully he still wants to do like a song like Falling. And then Thursday come, bro, the song ain't slowed down. And I was just like, bro, I literally called him. I was like, bro, stick to this sound, this new sound, whatever you're doing, it's working. So like, stick to it. And then, yeah, man, he's like one of my biggest inspirations, honestly. Like, just having someone that was the same level as me and seeing what he's done is like, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
like, it's
no
ridiculous.
doubt.
And it ain't luck either. That's the thing. It ain't luck. He's smart. Like, he's a very smart guy.
It's also known that you like to make your own luck sometimes, though. You know, I heard a story where you went backstage for Wireless not too long ago, and something about maybe coming on to TJ's set or something like that. Yeah, talk to me about that, because that sounded crazy.
Yeah, so what happened was, this was at Reading. So we
was it at Reading?
Yeah.
I thought it was at Wireless.
Nah, so we were at Reading, and after my set, we all just went to the Reading backstage, and we're not actually supposed to be there, but we've just like, we got Reading, pass, whatever. There's like 40 of us, me, Thames, and a bunch of other lot that were there. And little TJ's late for his set, and he didn't turn up to Leeds, bear in mind, right? So we're thinking he might not do the same thing to Reading. And someone's come round and been like, where's Martin? And one of my boys, shouts to A, he's been like, oh yeah, I'm Martin, what's up? And they're like, oh great, how long's little TJ gonna be? He just started blagging it and been like, I'm not too sure, maybe 15 minutes, but if he's not here in 15, listen, we've got someone else. And they're like, perfect. I'm looking around and I'm like,
that person's you.
I'm like, what, me?
Was you stressing? Was you excited?
No,
like
bro,
what?
Main stage? I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like, turn around. I'm like, yo, like to my DJ, I'm like, listen, get the USB ready right now, because in 15 minutes we are like, I'm gonna put a timer on my phone. 15 minutes, we are going on that stage. Like, no matter.
We love it.
Like, no matter what. I'm chatting to Thames and I'm like, yo, brother, listen, this is the plan. We're gonna do 3 songs each. We're gonna shut this stage down, bro. We're literally on my phone, watching the clock. My heart's racing. I'm like, listen, it's like 5 minutes to go. We just hear, oh, whatever. I'm like, what's that noise? People are shouting in the crowd. It's Lil TJ's DJ. We're like, we're like 5 more minutes, man. And I would have shelled that place down. But yeah, man, you got, like you said, bro, you got to hustle and create your own luck, man. You know what I mean? If you don't take the opportunity, someone else will. So, and that one moment might be the game changer for you. So, yeah, man, never stop.
No, 100%. I completely agree. Sometimes you just got to risk it for a chocolate biscuit in this industry.
Do,
you never know what you can create.
Literally, man.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't ask, you don't get. End of. Like, literally. So.
And some of the best things that I've had industry-wise is literally just face-to-face contact, and literally just like, if you're confident and you can just chat your wass, like, you'll be fine most of the time, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be super nervous, you know. I mean, I'm not an artist, but imagine you're not ready. Like, not saying you weren't ready for the set, because clearly you were ready. Like, USB ready.
I'd actually lost my voice at the time as well. I'd lost my voice after the set, but I was like, bro, I don't care. Like, whatever happens,
do you feel like if he didn't turn up, or just say he was late, like more than 15 minutes? Obviously, I haven't been like on stage and like stuff like that. But do you feel like there would have been a bit of beef with that?
Literally couldn't care less.
Okay.
I'm already on stage. Go on, scrap me on stage. It'll probably be good for my branding anyway. Like whatever. I literally don't even care. Like, this is happening. You can go on after. Just don't be late next time. Then, like, honestly, like, it's just. Is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. No, you stay ready. We love it. You stay ready. But obviously there's always a side to performing, right? And you've touched on, you know, you make songs, you know, around your mental health, around obviously like smoking weed. Yeah. And you say, you know, your inspirations come from when you were growing up as well. But you said you're in a good place now, which I'm really happy to hear as well, but we all have like our ups and downs. How do you deal with like, you know, balancing like your mental health as well as like these moments where it's like last minute changes, performing live, performing in different countries? How do you deal with all that?
I think the first thing I would say especially with mental health, is just like, you have to be self-conscious enough and critical of yourself enough to understand when you're actually like going through something. And a lot of people don't.
That's the point, you know, because a
lot of people just don't, and they'll blame like a lot of situations or whatever is going on in their life as a justification of their actions, but a lot of the time it is actually you. And the problem is, yes, I appreciate, you know, like, I might be going through something and I might, let's say, for example, I say something that's hurtful and I'm like, oh, sorry, I was going through it. but ultimately that is somewhat of your responsibility to at least understand when you are going through these moments in your life. And like for me, one of the triggers was bunning. Like when I was bunning a lot, I still do, but nowhere near as much. I would have like a lot of down days. Like every day was a down day. Waking up was dead. Like I'd literally be like, I'm awake. Oh, I'm just knackered. Like, what have I got to do today? Like, this is so long. Like,
And people be playing down weed, but like it does affect you.
I'm
like
straight
actually
up,
does.
yeah. I've always talked about it in all of my songs. Time to Chasing Dragons. But listen to my songs. I'm always like, I want to marry. I'm talking about wanting to break up with her. Like I understand that like it does relax. It does chill me out, and it's a great to have that time and space to relax. But in the same breath, if you're doing it every day, there's a 99.9% chance you're addicted. And the chances are that when you're having your bad days in the day, when you're not lean, it's actually just your brain going, I really need some dopamine. And then you smoking, that's what you get from that dopamine, and you stop thinking about everything. But my anxiety and my ADHD has peaked massively over the last 10 years because I was bunning. And if I didn't, I think I would have a lot better grasp on my emotions, the way that I communicate with people when I'm sober, and also I don't think it's a blessing and a curse, because if I didn't bun, I don't think I would have made a lot of this music, because I wouldn't have had the anxiety that I had. But now that I'm quite conscious of how it's affected me, I can still make that kind of music and get into my feels without having such bad anxiety around it. Because I just feel that it really does affect you. And I think most people, I'd say 99% of people, me included, are like, oh yeah, but can you stop? Yeah, bro, I can stop genuinely any time I want to. But like, I don't even bun that much. I bun like once a day, a couple of weeks a day. That's about it. And they're like, all right, well, why don't you stop? Bro, I literally don't need to. You're like, so you're addicted? You're like, well, no, I'm not addicted. I could not bun for however long. I got on holiday. I went to Dubai. I didn't bun. I'm like, yeah, but you're addicted. Like, you might not have like be shaking and be like, oh, I need a zoo, but like, you are addicted. Like, no matter what you think. And I think you got to be very careful with it, because you need to be self-conscious enough to understand like the changes that are happening over a course of years. From 18 to 20, you might not see a change, but from 18 to 25, your whole personality can change. Like, it's crazy. You might become a shell of the person that you once was, and wonder, why was I lit in school? I was popular in school? And you're like, well, it's not the loud, because like everyone buns.
Yeah.
And actually, it's like, no. Genuinely, over time, you're in your yard all the time. You're like, oh, do I go to this networking event or meet this? But no, I'll just chill. And I need to kick back tonight. I've had a stressful day. But now you ain't actually had a stressful day. You've had a normal day to everyone else, but you see the stress as 10 times more magnified because you haven't bun today. So, and then it's a cycle. It goes on and on and on and on, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to like explain properly, but like...
No,
if
I
you
hear what
bun,
you're saying.
You'll get what I mean by the stress of day-to-day life and how crap life seems. Really, you're actually having a normal day like everyone else, but you just zone in on these negative things, and it will pile up. Like, all these things pile up. So
No, 100%. So I have Asperger's syndrome, right? So we can relate to a similar level where we see the world a little bit differently. We receive the world a little bit differently as well. And those sort of traits that you have growing up can attract an addictive personality, especially if you've come from a certain background that emphasizes that sort of lifestyle, in particularly in music. And it can feed those demons, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, growing up with the environment you're in, you grow up on a burden of purpose, right? You're here to build a legacy, and that also entails a lot of pressure, especially on a men's mental health. Because I guess as a man, we're grown to be not crying, protecting and providing, trying to buy your mum a house or whatever and stuff like that. And that can be quite daunting, as well as other stuff that goes into your life. So respect for you, and then hats off to you for being able to tell that story, actually overcome it. And like you said before, things are going well for you now, bro.
Yeah.
Things are going well for you now, cuz like not many people can get onto that other side. And it's kind of nice to see him, maybe younger artists or artists that are a little bit older than you that have aspirations, that want to get out of that hellhole, that they can do that and can get rewards from that. You know what I'm saying? And all it takes is hard work and discipline and surrounding yourself with the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. One thing to just really quickly add to that though is one of the things that has like really helped me in my recent success is not focusing so much on one thing. Like, I don't like to be a jack of all trades or be someone that is like, everyone says just focus on one thing and do it really well. I do agree with that, but there comes a point where learning other things in life can benefit your main goal so much. So don't be scared don't be scared to be like, let's say, for example, I want to be a rapper, but I'm really interested in becoming a video director as well, but I don't want to focus on that because I just need to be a rapper. Don't neglect learning that skill, because you never know what that one skill that you might learn. Let's say I learn video directing, right? Let's say, for example, just in this scenario, I bump into Stormzy randomly, and he's like, oh, actually, again, this is a far-fetched scenario, but like, oh, you know what? I could do with a videographer actually for this one thing. Next thing you know, you're filming Stormzy on a BTS at studio. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, what? What? That's you on that song? Oh, you on cold, you know? Oh, what? Why don't you drop a little verse? I'm not saying everything happens like that, but life really does work like that. But you would have never got in the studio with Stormzy if you never actually learned how to and followed your passion of learning that skill as a cameraman. So sometimes your dream and where you want to go it's not like I want to be a rapper, it comes here. It's like you might have to do this and then it ends up here, you know? And that's one of the main things I've really learned. Don't neglect your other passions, because it can that's what can make you unique, and that's what can make you stand out to other people and get your foot in a door.
100%. I can give an example as well where, there was a time where I almost made it in I guess, going on to radio, my dream job, whatever. Yeah. It was out of the last couple people, got rejected. However, I was offered to do a show, but the same day we were supposed to have that meeting was during COVID, fam. So I was back at Co-op, stacking shelves, feeling like a waste man. You know what I'm saying? And I had to put up with 2 years of just forking it out, basically, and grinding it out to try and get to that next stage. And then I was given an opportunity again. However, in community radio, I ended up having some beef with a station manager at one point, and that fell apart, and I felt absolutely rubbish, because obviously, radio is my passion, broadcast is my passion, and it feels like you lose your superpower sort of thing. I'm sure it's like, whether you believe in God or not, I feel like in this life you're given at least one talent, and I feel like if that's taken away from you, it's hard to really enjoy life in a sense. And then again, after just working hard, going this, that, the points that you were just making, I then get put on by these big platforms such as BBC Radio, such as going to these live events, interviewing you, for example, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you make a fair point.
Yeah. And the best, exactly the same story, and he summarises it really well, is The Rock. He's got one clip on his Instagram, which basically, I'm not going to say the whole thing, but he talks about how he moved to North America to be a football player. And he was like, I joined the team, I got signed, played amazing first game. After that, I got dropped, dreams shattered. Everything that I ever built towards in this life, all over. And he goes, you know what? That was the best thing that never happened to me, because now look what I've done. I've just sold out all these arenas, been one of the most famous movie stars in the world. He's like, if I never followed that passion of becoming an NFL person and never had enough criticism of myself to be like, what else am I really good at and how can I open other doors, I would have never have got to where I am. So some things are the best things that never happen to you, and you just got to appreciate that it's all part of the journey.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. No, I respect you both so much for sharing as well, and it's so good to see how far you've come.
Thank you.
And you yourself as well. You're here right now.
Yeah. ARTAN, man, I want to play some games with you, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, cool. So here on Naitram Live, obviously we've delved into your story. It's been magic. Thank you for that. Now we just want to get to know you a little bit better. We've got red light, green light. The game's very simple. Me and Nat, we're going to tell you some situations, some scenarios. I'm going to talk about it, rant about it, react to it. But you got to say red light if you mess with it, and green light if you rate it. Yeah? Okay. That makes sense, yeah?
So red if I don't...
Red light, you don't rate at all.
All right, cool.
Right, green light if you rate it, yeah?
All right, cool.
You can't red light all of these, though.
All right.
I'm just letting you know.
Don't let her tell you what to do, man. Be yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? All right, I'll go with the first one, yeah? Red light, green light, kissing someone with morning breath. What are we saying?
Don't green like that.
Red.
Red, yeah?
Red.
All right, let's talk about your answer, yeah? Let's talk about your answer.
I can do a little peck, but if you're asking for the full
not even with your missus. You've not been going out long enough where you can poo with the door open and it's not even a matter.
Yeah, that's calm, but it's just more of a you know what I'm saying? I'd rather not. Let's get up, quick brush of the teeth, let's come back to bed, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a bit of Colgate in the morning, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Go on then.
Okay, cool. So my one is Do you rate Crocs? And is Crocs with the little gems on? We're talking the ice creams.
Green.
Okay.
Green, yeah,
So
man.
green light,
I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Yeah, like I don't get the stigma behind not rating Crocs personally. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the whole wooden Crocs. You know, like
They're clogs.
Oh, they're clogs.
They're clogs, G.
Clogs.
That's like some Netherlands thing.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it's a red for clogs and a green for Crocs. You go. Yeah,
We respect it. We respect
Do you have any?
No, so I just bigged you guys up. So if there's a sponsor out there, you know what I'm saying? Send me
We're
that.
getting the Lightning McQueen ones.
Yeah,
fam.
come on,
Them
yeah.
ones. All right, cool. So we're back on orange, yeah? All right, so I guess this infiltrates kind of like the whole music sort of world. Like, what do you think about spitting a freestyle with a mobile phone? Red light, green light?
Green light, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, some people don't understand how hard it is to remember like a 5-minute freestyle. Like it is hard, especially like see me. I've never done that reading off my phone, but sometimes you get you might be like, imagine if Fire in the Booth, yeah, shout me and they go, yo, we've got a slot open in 2 days. What are you doing? You've got to write the whole thing, which might take you 2 days, and then memorize it an hour and a half before. So yeah, if you want it to be the best freestyle you can be, yeah, you don't use a phone. But sometimes there is instances where you can't do anything about it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like,
I hear that.
Ultimately, it's just like, it is a greater skill if you can memorize the whole thing 100%. Like, come on, like, it is better. But I understand, like, some people have written it on the way there. And to me, I look at that and I'm like, or if you actually wrote that on the way there, for example, or the day before, respect to you, because this is cold.
No, I hear that. I guess it's a bit different in sort of the radio concept, because when you see it on camera, I guess people that don't, especially people that don't
looks
rap,
terrible. Online, yeah,
it's one of them ones. I think that's where it spikes the controversy, because I feel like, and forgive me, I feel like people that don't know the requirements to make this sort of content. They think we just poo it out, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's the same. I think though it's from the same people that are just like the next gen on from, dude, that's not a freestyle. Like, it's like, bro, like,
it was a voice for me. Like,
no, it's like, you know, when it's like, oh, someone's done a freestyle, and it's like, dude, that was not off the dome, bro. And you're like, yeah, but that's not what freestyle is.
Can you do it off the dome? Like, can you do it off the dome? The people
exactly. So,
no, I hear you. Okay, cool. So this one, no judgment. Spicy food for breakfast. Have you ever done it? No judgment.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we talking there? What are we talking? Curry?
Tabasco sauce. Like, I wouldn't have a curry for breakfast. Jesus Christ.
I feel like you're lying to me right now. I feel like you're just trying to say that because you're half Asian or something.
He was like, no.
No, what, you don't put hot sauce on, like, let's say you make egg on toast and avocado. You don't put hot sauce on.
You know what? Yes.
I like a bit of Tabasco.
Does
or
that
like
count though?
mayo.
Does that count?
Nothing too deep in it.
Does that count in our question though? A little bit of hot sauce?
Oh, so you mean like full on?
We're talking.
Would you order a vindaloo at like 6 a.m?
No, but who would order a vindaloo
No,
at 6
okay.
a.m.? Like, would you order like a chicken tikka masala at 6 a.m.?
Put
It's
your
not
hands
even
up right
spicy.
now and
No.
leave. If you can.
Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying. So no,
but what if it's leftovers from the night before, and you were so hungry and there was no?
There's like a spicy pizza. Yeah, I'm having that.
Okay, we're green lighting it then.
Yeah, green light. Come on, all day.
All right, so to be fair, I guess we kind of spoken about this in between parody and fun, right?
Yeah.
So maybe try and take that out of context, or you can add that as a variable. It's up to you. But red light, green light, Artan, cap rappers.
Straight up red.
Yeah? Okay, say no more.
I can't stand it when artists lie. And do you know what I hate? Genuinely, shall I tell you what I hate the most? Is when artists blow up from the streets, yeah? They ain't doing nothing illegal. Not even, like, nothing. And they're now mainstream, living an amazing life, and they're still talking about, like, hitting shots. And I'm like, bro, you don't even live in the UK. Like, you literally don't. You don't even live in the UK anymore. You live in, like, America in a multi-million-pound mansion. You're still talking about meeting Stacey for a 2 for 2. Like, bro, that is I'm sorry, but sorry, 2 on 2. I don't know why I said 2 for 2. I'm thinking about Sam's Chicken right now. But yeah, like, I don't understand it. I feel like always be as transparent to your situation as you can. Like, why would you lie about an old scenario that you used to live when your reality is not now? Because now you're giving a false impression.
So wait, was it that they never lived it at all,
No,
or they
no.
used to ages ago, and then they're like,
it's
still
like,
rapping like?
Yeah, you're still rapping about.
I don't know about that one, you know.
I personally don't. I don't respect it because I think that you're giving a really bad message. Like, if I make okay, I'll give you an example of it. If I make a song, yeah, now that is super deep and dark and depressing, like super deep and dark and depressing, and my current state of mind is not actually that. That is unauthentic. It's not authentic. Like, if I blow up, yeah, and I make millions of pounds, and I'm talking like, yo, I've still got no food in the fridge, like, and all this, and it's like, great, you're relating, like, and you're trying to relate to people, but I see it as, forget your career, forget where you're at, and the fact that people might not relate, but like, talk your truth and speak. If you're not creative enough to speak from an angle that is from your current angle, it doesn't even have to be that, but talk about your current issues, your current problems, then you're not as good as artists as you think, because you're just teaching kids the wrong thing. Especially like these drill rappers, like, they blow up, make millions in that, and then they're still talking about bootings and stuff that they did like 20 years ago, and as if it's now.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in agreement with that, especially like not, projecting our own negative message. But sometimes I feel like we see like people blow up and we're like, because what your material life looks like now, you've changed. And actually, a lot of time people are actually caught in their own trauma.
Yeah.
And where they've come from a lot more than maybe we give the grace for them.
But I think that you just need to do, like, for example, Central C does it great. Like, he speaks from his new perspective, but just a different type of angle. Like, he packages it a little bit differently. Like, I just don't like it when people are basically saying that nothing's changed. It's like, talk your truths just from a different angle. I'm not saying talk glitz and glamour, but I'm just saying to
like, let your music grow with you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Grow with your music. Don't like give a false impression that this is all you need to do for the rest of your life. Because there's even some people that are like working 9 to 5s that are like, they quit the trap like 5 years ago. They're still talking like they're on mad crud. But it's like, I don't care if you're on mad crud or not. I just want you to speak and be honest, because I'll be able to tell. And I want to see growth, and I want to see growth in people. So yeah, like, it's demotivating when I see people doing that, to be honest with you.
Okay, good answer.
That was
good
a big
answer.
red one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course.
Big red one.
Yep.
All right, cool. So next question. Would you, and we haven't actually asked you about whether you like performing more in the UK or abroad, but would you take 1 million to stay only in the UK and perform for the next 20 years, or just 15k, but you get to travel the world, all paid for, seeing different communities, performing in front of different audiences?
Yeah, red light, green light, ARTAN, what are you saying?
I could do with 1 million.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I could do with 1 million, but I'm gonna make 1 million regardless. So I'm gonna say red for that one. Red is I'll go abroad and stuff, just because. Yeah, man, you can't like, experiencing different things around the world is genuinely priceless. So, and I like going overseas. I don't prefer performing necessarily overseas, but one of the best things that I've ever done is just going to an event that I used to be like, oh, how do I get on stage? Like, I used to like think of ways that I could like get on stage, and like, I don't know why, like when I was like 13, like watching performance, be like, oh, I just imagine that like I think I went to see 50 Cent when I was like 13 at the O2, and I'd be like, just imagine if 50 Cent pointed out in the crowd and going, who can rap like this song? And I'd be like, I need to be ready for that moment. So now I'm actually going on stage with the mandem, like my close people, and performing. It's one of the best things ever. So yeah, to do that around the world is an undescribable experience. Even if you're not making a killing, it's just like you can't beat that experience.
We just did red light, green light, got to know you a little bit more.
Yep.
But we do have some personality questions to get to know you even more. Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready?
Why? I should be nervous about this.
Nah, you be sweet,
Okay,
bro.
cool.
You be sweet, man. We'll look after you, man. It's all good.
All right, kick it off, Mars.
All right, cool.
good, you're
So I know back in the day you was on like SBTV, Link Up TV,
Yeah.
Grime Daily, all of that in it. So you've heard of £5 munch, right? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
of course.
If you was on that, like, what are you grabbing? What do you think? Bearing in mind, like, interest rate, like inflation and that, you probably can't get much.
Currently,
yeah, I guess you can't get much for a £5 these days. Probably a packet of Haribo's or something. But yeah, tell me, what are you saying about
I'd
that?
be getting a pack of Riz, a coconut water, and a dairy milk Oreo chocolate bar with some Takis.
Right,
And
okay.
I reckon I could get that £5.
All right. Say no more. Such a random last meal, bro.
It's very on my mind right now. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
All right, cool. So, in your opinion, right now, which one UK artist should young people be listening to? In your opinion,
UK artists listen to. I'd probably say probably me.
we love it.
Right.
We love
Probably me.
the humility.
Yeah, probably me. And only reason why I actually say that genuinely is just because I can't really speak for other artists, but I genuinely believe that like even if you don't really rate the music, I think you should at least appreciate the progression, and I want people to actually take in the like how I saved my own life. Like I actually saved my own life from making music and speaking it out there. So like, and I know that it's helped a lot of people. So if there's anyone that I can genuinely vouch for that has like changed someone's life, like I've actually changed my own life from my own music. So like, I know that it's helped some other people. So I can only vouch for myself that it's genuinely. I know it sounds mad cocky or something. But
No.
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. Like, I want to know, like, I'm a cartoon guy. Yeah, like I grew up on like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, like Looney Tunes, all that kind of stuff in it. Yeah, like what was some TV shows you grew up on or cartoons and that? Like, first of all, what year were you born? Actually,
me, I'm a 94 man.
94. Okay, so I'm 96. So we grew up in some sort of kids TV was lit back then. So
like,
what were you on?
Ed, Ed and Eddie, Arthur, South Park, obviously, but that was a bit later. Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah.
You know, there was like those are the channels. I never got into anime, even though I'm Asian. I just never really got into it. Like I'm sure I just don't have the time. But I was a Nickelodeon boy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fire cartoons, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was banging.
Yeah.
I don't. Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, that was good. Do you remember the Cowley dog? What was he called? The purple dog.
Yeah, I don't know. No. I didn't really watch that, but there was who was the? That was the best show that I loved. Was the guy,
Codename Kids Next Door?
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. But it's the one where he wears the little cap, like he wears a pink cap and a pink t-shirt. He's I can't even remember, but I can't
I'm trying to think.
Is it Dexter's Lab? Damn, what is it?
Nah, it's in the history books now.
It'll come up.
It's in the history books now. All right, go on, Nat.
All right, cool. So if you're out and they're telling you to jump on stage, but you can't sing your own song, what karaoke song are you choosing?
What karaoke song? A Boogie, Man in the Mirror.
Can you do some now?
Yeah. That is a banger. Okay. Any appearance, I'm looking to fly. There's no cameras there. I don't know the bands, I swear. Just Rory's and Lambs, I swear. Jeez.
We love it. We love it.
That's actually like the song that I know probably all the words to. You know, like if like Bin Laden was to come and say, yo, listen, like one song, can't mess up any word.
From the dead.
Yeah, from the dead.
I was going to say, why Bin Laden? That's so random.
It's a mad scenario, but just imagine, he said, listen, one song, gun to your head, bro, it's A Boogie, Man in the Mirror.
Okay.
We hear it. You can vouch for a lot over that.
Exactly.
What I want to talk about to you next, Artan, is like, what artist, right? And like ones that the general audience would know about, no underground artists or anything like that. What actual artist would you trust to take a penalty kick for you and score it to save your life?
Save my life. Chunks. Yeah.
Does he count as an artist though? Because he quit technically.
He did quit. Chunks ain't quit, man.
And we low-key saw him at Soccer Aid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He takes some serious kicks. But no, other than that, I'd probably say, I was gonna say Drake, but that's like the worst one possible.
He try and do a touchdown.
Yeah.
I feel like Stormzy.
Nah, he looks clumsy. He's too clumsy. You know, like he's just too big. Not hating on but it's the frame. His frame is just like it's all disconnected. Like I'd probably say I feel like maybe Dave.
I was literally actually thinking that because I heard he's a baller.
I feel like he's a baller. Yeah. So I'd say Dave.
Okay, calm. Again, thank you so much for coming on Artan. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you a lot better, how your music career is going, what you got going on currently right now. Obviously, you've been doing a European tour.
Yeah.
You just finished a tour with Young Gravy in the UK.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got a headline show coming up later this month.
Yeah.
What's going to happen though in the future, man? Because there's always a future, and obviously we've been talking about the past and present, but like, yeah, what's going to be happening for you like after this, like later in the year?
So I'm trying to tap into my Asian roots a little bit more now. So I'm trying to like really expand into China. I'm also in my actual just general life, I'm taking a few more risks, and I'm moving to Thailand for like 3-6 months. People are asking me why. Why not? Really and truly, to be honest with you, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper rent,
yeah,
fam.
it's cheaper rent. Like, it's just a nice place to be. Just thought, why not? Like, I don't have kids or nothing. I'm not married. I don't have a like mortgage to like I have to be there. So I was thinking, why not? And that's literally. I don't really have much more of an explanation for that. But other than that, bro, I'm just really trying to get into the enjoyment of music again, and just appreciating creativity and also other aspects of my life. You know, like, I'm more than just a rapper. Like, I do a lot of things outside, and I really like my Forex stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I just really want to tap into those areas, because every time I do, it benefits my music drastically. So I think it's just going to be a lot of self-development over the next year, and hopefully that results in a lot more music and a lot better music, because it'll be like I'm constantly developing myself as a person. So yeah, man.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. ARTAN, again, absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. This has been Mars. This has been Nat on Naitram Live. See you on the next one.
Wow.